Good morning. We're going to start right off with a hymn this morning. Number 112 in your gray hymnal. Please rise as you are willing and able.
Welcome to Unitarian Coastal Fellowship. This is a place where many paths meet, where we honor the rich tapestry of spiritual traditions, and where all are welcome to responsibly explore their own connection to the sacred. I am Reverend Leslie Runnels, and I use she, her pronouns, joined with Karen Baggett as worship associate and as song leader today. And we have on piano, we have Maria Lundgren. Bob Thomas and Martha Kenworthy are making all the Zoom and sound magic happen. We thank you for that. If you are visiting us for the first or second time today, would you raise your hands that we may welcome you? Oh, wonderful. And wonderful in the back. Great. So we'll bring the microphone around. If you'd like to introduce yourselves, please do. If you don't want to, you don't have to. We'd love to hear your name. No?
I know June could talk you into it.
I'm Sandra, and I have attended UU churches in Minneapolis and Birmingham.
Ah, welcome. Did you want to introduce yourselves? Sure. Okay. Well, we want everybody to be able to hear you, so.
Okay, so we're the talkers. I'm with the talkers. Hi, I'm Brenda, and this is my husband, Will Aird. And we live here, but we also have a second home in Virginia, and we go to the Arlington Unitarian Church there.
Wonderful.
But we're also newbies there, so. Okay.
Welcome. All right, and let's hear who's joining us on Zoom today. That was all of the guests.
We have Holly and Margaret, Gary Sterling Willis, Kari Matheson, the Marsh family, Kay and Darrell Lynch, Stephen Ohms, Karen Reddy, Jace, Dan Phillips, Elizabeth, and Michelle Crapo.
My goodness, it's crowded on Zoom today. Let's wave to our friends on Zoom. We're glad you're with us. Wish you could be in person, but we're glad you're there. And I have a couple of announcements today. One is we got a thank you note, and it's very beautifully done. There was a luncheon for Beach House, right, Karen, is that right? That was here, and they wrote us a card that says, just a note to say thanks, we appreciate you all. Thanks from us all at Beach House, from your Beach House friends. And then on the inside, it says, Reverend Leslie, we hosted Beach House, oh, this comes from Karen, so that I know what this is about. We hosted Beach House clients, staff, and families on Friday for their holiday luncheon and handed out our gift bags to them. And they've drawn a beautiful little picture, and it also says, made by Holiday Mark. That might be a person from Beach House. Yeah. This is part of how this community reaches out during the holidays. All right, we have on December 10th, the Red Cross blood drive is happening. Please sign up for that. There's flyers on the table so you can register for it. And we have our caroling party at Empower, and that's going to be on Friday, December 12th, so that is this coming Friday. It's going to be at Empower's new location, which is right next to Big Lots across the street. Are you going to be there, Wesley? Yeah. All right. So we're going to go to Empower, and we're going to sing Christmas carols, and we're going to bring snacks that you can't have them all, Wesley. And we're going to just sing and have fun. So please join us for that. All right, with all the gratitude for all that is going on in this beautiful congregation at this busy time of the year, let us prepare ourselves for worship service in this sacred space. Let's center ourselves and let music deepen the way.
Spirit of life, enter here with us, and let us remember that even our smallest steps forward matter. That courage comes not from feeling brave, but from acting despite our fear. May we find hope in unexpected places, in the kindness of strangers, in our own capacity to survive, in this community that holds us when we cannot hold ourselves. Please join me in the responsive reading. Your part is in italics. We, bearers of the dream, affirm that a new vision of hope is emerging. We pledge to work for that community in which justice will be actively present. Yet we know that in the struggle is the hope for the future. And we stand united in affirmation of our hope and vision of a just and inclusive society. We affirm the unity of all persons. Yet we are one in the image of God, and we celebrate our hopes for human unity. Within ourselves, as within the gathered community, we will discover the strength not to hide in indifference. Together, we pledge action to transcend barriers, be they racial, political, economic, social, or spiritual. And now, let us speak these words together. Come, let us worship together. And now we invite Soleil to light our chalice for us. Thank you. Our light is the light of the sun, keeper of all we love. Our light is the light of the earth, provider of sustenance. Our light is the light of all living things, life precious like our own. Our light is the light of each of us, bound together in need and hope. Our light is the light of the cosmos, keeper of all we know. As we light our peace candle, we are reminded that peace is a process that requires work, that peace is not merely an absence of conflict, but the presence of justice. You got it? Here comes Reverend Leslie. There you go. Thank you. Oh. Thank you, Soleil. And now let us join our voices together. Those of us who dream of peace and justice, please rise in body or spirit for hymn number 30 in your gray hymnal, Over My Head. Music in the air, over my head, I hear music in the air, got 2 more verses. Over my head, I feel gladness in the air. Over my head, I feel gladness in the air. Over my head, I feel gladness in the air. There must be a God somewhere. Over my head, I see angels in the air. Over my head, I see angels in the air. Over my head, I see angels in the air. There must be a God somewhere.
Over my head, I hear hope in the air. There must be a God somewhere. Let us join into a sacred ritual where we make space and time to be human and celebrate our joys and grieve our sorrows together. This is a reverent, sacred moment in our worship service where we witness each other in our moments of joy and sorrow. Should you wish to share a personal joy or sorrow about a person or persons in your life, there's a piece of paper over here that you can fill out, and I will read that as part of the ritual. And the way it works is we'll have a line that comes along this way and a line that comes along that outer wall, and you select a stone or a shell from the basket, place what you need into that shell, and place it into the water where it's held in community care and support. We invite you now to the ritual. Greg Long, let's see, Katie McDonald is sharing with us that their brother-in-law's wife died suddenly and he is devastated. Please keep Greg in your loving thoughts and prayers. We will do so. Jackie is sending good wishes to my friend Carol, who is having knee replacement surgery on Tuesday. There's a lot of new knees in the world. May she be safe. By the light of this chalice, by the love that has been poured into this water, we take a moment to hold in our hearts all, known and unknown to us, of who are struggling. For the sorrows and concerns shared here, may you feel our sympathy and compassion. We take a moment to open our hearts to joy, ours or that of others, known or unknown. We join you in celebration. For all that remains unspoken, both joy and sorrow, may the caring of our community offer you both kindness and hope. May you know love. May you know peace. And may you be safe. Okay, now it is time for all ages, and I believe that Sarah is going to come running out of the quiet room. Ta-da! With some of our younger ones. So we invite all of the young people to come forward because we are going to do a little special thing. Do you want a mic?
We don't need the baskets yet. Okay, good morning, everyone. So for the holidays, we wanted to say thank you to all of our volunteers for the nursery, for the elementary school class, for the middle school class, and all the ways that the volunteers support our young kids, which you can see are growing every second. Every time I come, there are some more kids. So if you will please stand up in your seat where you are, if you have volunteered in the past year in any of the classrooms or with the RE program, please stand. Okay. Thank you. And let's give them a big round of applause. And keep standing if you can, if you're willing and able. We have a gift for all of our volunteers. We have some buttons that the kids and the adults have been making that say Children's Volunteer, and some little chocolates. So children, if you will each take a couple and then give it to those that are standing. Okay, well, we might have some extras left over. You can help us with the next part, okay? Get the friend. These are for the teachers. They have buttons.
Summer, do you want to give one to Emily? She's been a teacher for us.
Yeah, put the extra in here. We have some folks who aren't here today, so we'll make sure they get their buttons.
Yeah!
I will, thank you.
Can you give the
Maybe. All right, you want to do the friends meeting?
Yeah.
All right, children.
You can do it.
Sure. Okay. Is it on here?
Yeah.
Okay, children, don't go anywhere. All right, so now that the children have set us with the tone of appreciation and gifts, we're going to invite the children to collect your offering for Friends Feeding Friends. So folks, you can go ahead and take your baskets and walk around.
And so this is your offering time. Y'all know what you're doing. Go around and... All right, I think they're doing it. All right. George, there's some, wait, let's see. I think he's going to get his in there. Uh-oh. here comes the bounty, the generosity this congregation brings. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, Summer. Yep, Summer's got it. Good job. Oh my goodness, there's so much. This is great. All of this that we gather, we place in our pantry outside. You got enough? Enough? So much? Do we have a bounty? All right, beautiful. Now let's sing our children to their classes where they go off to learn more about how to bring love and joy to the world with our blessing song. It's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. What you know about God is a piece of the truth. Let the beauty you love be what you do, and you don't have to do it alone. It's a blessing I was born, and it matters what I do. What I know about God is a piece of the truth. Let the beauty I love be what I do, and I don't have to do it alone. It's a blessing we were born, and it matters what we do. What we know about God is a piece of the truth. Let the beauty we love be what we do, and we don't have to do it alone. Let us deepen into silence for a time of meditation and the prayers of your own heart. We will begin with a guided meditation, followed by some silence, and then a spoken prayer, then some more silence. And then we will let music bring us out of the meditation. Feel free to close your eyes if you like. Today's grounding is based on a self-blessing by Irithanya Moon. Today, I invite you to drink deep of yourself. See, sense, or perceive water in whatever form is comforting to you. Let it cool your face, your heart, and your hands. Breathe. Promise yourself to yourself. Loosen what needs to loosen. Breathe. Give yourself what you give to others. Breathe. Pour love into your eyes, your lips, your hands. Pour in the love that knows how to unclench your jaw. Bring your shoulders away from your ears and release your stomach muscles. Drench yourself in your own blessings. Let them cool and calm. Let them take your hand. Let them in. And breathe. Let the blessings in. Hope does dwell. God of mercy, Spirit who makes peace out of war, who wanders with refugees and keeps vigil with children at our border and all borders. Holy healer in hospitals and shelters, at schools, in homes, at weddings, and in planes. May your love be balm for all the hurt. May your truth be present in offices of power and in the hearts of soldiers and civilians alike. Many times we've thought the arc was bending towards justice. Many times we saw it happen in courtrooms and in streets, in the hearts of people creating their own liberation. Many times we've also doubted. For those of us this morning who doubt, who despair that brokenness and suffering and war may win, remind us of all the small mercies, the tiny triumphs. Hope does dwell in the world. Thank you all. Soon the day will arrive, the song goes. May you choose hope even when it trembles. May it be the kind of hope that plants seeds, waits in the dark, and trusts the stirring. Hope that doesn't deny despair, but dares to outlast it. These words are a tender, challenging invitation. They remind us that hope is not fragile. We are. And because we are fragile, we need hope all the more. We gather in a season when the sunlight seems to slip through our fingers, when the nights stretch long and the world feels stripped to its essentials. This is not accidental. The cosmos itself is teaching us something. Slow down. Notice the dark. Pay attention to the stirrings that are not yet light, but are no longer silence. This is the season when hope begins underground. Reverend Victoria Safford, in her piece, The Gates of Hope, writes, "Our mission is to plant ourselves at the gate of hope, not the prudent gates of optimism, not the cheerful, flimsy gate of everything is going to be all right, but a different, sometimes lonely place, the place from which you see the world as it is and as it could be. To stand at the gates of hope is to stand where truth and possibility meet. It is also to stand in a place of responsibility. When we choose hope over optimism, we take off the mask that pretends everything is fine. Optimism waits for someone else to fix things. Hope says, I'm here. I'm part of this. I will show up, even trembling. That is the gate through which change enters the world. And crucially, Safford reminds us that this is not done alone. We stand together. One person holding a lantern in the dark is a flicker. A community doing so becomes a constellation by which others can navigate. Every year, December 1st shows up and feels like it shows up a little bit uninvited. My heart and my stomach are still digesting Thanksgiving leftovers, both literal and emotional, when suddenly the world demands sparkle, a playlist, twinkling lights and presents, perfect cheer, and an inbox full of Friday's sales. But our hearts are not always synchronized to that calendar. Maybe we're grieving. Maybe we're worried. Maybe the world feels too heavy for merriment. Maybe Christmas feels like one more thing on a too long to-do list. And yet, Christmas comes anyway. Winter solstice comes anyway. Hanukkah's candles come anyway. The Yule log cake beckons. The Kwanzaa Kinara begs to be lit. The turning of the earth comes anyway. Hope does not check in with us first. Hope arrives because it's time. And perhaps that is the deeper miracle of this season. Possibility keeps coming even when we don't feel ready for it. And for the Christians among us, this season carries yet another layer of meaning. A story of the holy arrival at the darkest time of the year. Advent whispers of a birth long hoped for, a child who came not in power but in vulnerability, not in wealth but in simplicity, not in triumph but in tenderness. The coming of Jesus is, at its heart, a story of radical hope. That compassion can be born into a wounded world, that love can arrive in unlikely places, and that every child carries with them a spark capable of transforming the whole human story. The Nativity asks us to believe that the holy does not wait for the world to be perfect before entering it. Instead, it comes into the world as it is, messy, uncertain, beautiful, and longing. That is a truth that transcends doctrine. It is a truth that many of us can hold. Hope can be born even when the night feels long. Hope can be born even when the night feels long. And so perhaps this season where we celebrate Advent, Hanukkah, Yule, or simply the turning of the year, we can honor the story of Jesus as one more cosmic metaphor for what is possible. Hope does not descend from the heavens fully formed. It grows in us in the way light begins to return after the solstice, the way a star appears over a silent city, the way a newborn's breath changes the atmosphere of a room. We can let that story remind us the beginnings often look small, humble, and fragile, and that's enough. Hope begins precisely this way. One act of care, one moment of courage, one flicker of love that refuses to go out. The cosmos renews itself through cycles, and so do we. And every story of holy arrival, including the story of Jesus, reminds us that within every one of us is the capacity to carry light into places that have forgotten how to shine. Bridget Anna McNeil writes beautifully about the spiritual necessity of winter. This period of descent into our own darkness was once understood as necessary in order to find our light. Winter points us toward our inner self, the darkness and potential death of what we were, so that we may be freed from the jagged bonds wrapped around our hearts. Beautifully written. We're not used to thinking of darkness as a gift. I know I'm not. I don't like the short winter days. I like the bright sun. But winter teaches us otherwise. Darkness is not a punishment. Darkness is an invitation. And the cosmos agrees. Everything important happens in the dark. Seeds sprout in soil. Embryos form in the womb. Stars ignite inside nebulae, vast regions of dark cloud. Our own earth twilts away from the sun, and in that long night, the planet rests. This is not failure, this is preparation. So when the world feels heavy, winter says, you are not broken, you are wintering. And wintering is part of the rhythm of renewal. Our Unitarian Universalist heritage contains two strands: Unitarian rationality and Universalist compassion, if I can break them down into just one word each, woven together to form a larger spiritual imagination. The Unitarian gift, a trust in human goodness, in reason, in our ability to build a just world. It is a gift, but it can tempt us to think that we are above complicity or beyond harm. It can become individualistic and disconnected from humility. The Universalist gift, a big-hearted assurance that no one is outside the circle of love, that all of us carry a spark of the divine, and that grace is not scarce. It reminds us that hope is not earned. Hope is not earned, it is offered. When we bring these heritages together, we arrive at a richer hope, a hope neither naive nor despairing, but a hope that is durable because it sees reality clearly and still chooses engagement. One writer said, "The voices of those repeatedly failed by humanity are drawing our faith beyond optimism and into covenant." A covenantal hope takes work. It requires relationship. It demands accountability. And it reminds us, the antidote to disconnected individualism is belonging. Belonging to one another, belonging to our community, belonging to the unfolding future. This is the hope that changes lives. This is a story from South Africa about how hope defies logic. It comes from a South African Quaker, and Quakers are very close to us in that they have no creed, they appreciate the way our minds work, and they are very committed to social justice. So South African Quaker cosmologist George Ellis tells us a story many of you may know, that the nonviolent ending of apartheid defied the calculus of rationality. Defied the calculus of rationality. Because by every rational prediction, the fall of apartheid should have ended in a bloodbath. But instead, something else appeared. Something that could not be graphed, quantified, or explained by logic alone. Forgiveness, and courage, and communal resilience. The willingness to differentiate a person from the harm they've committed. This echoes our Universalist ancestors who say, no soul is beyond redemption, no future is beyond transformation. Ellis said that at times he lost hope. He even left South Africa for years, but he returned because, in his words, there was stuff to be done. That sentence is the essence of durable hope. Not everything will work out, but there is work to do and I am part of it. That is a hope that rebuilds a nation and a world and a heart. Let us turn again to the stars. The cosmos is not a static painting. It is active and creative. It is a force. Stars live and die and scatter their elements. New stars ignite from that dust. Galaxies collide in spectacular slow motion, birthing spirals of new light. The universe is 13.8 billion years of renewal, collapse, regeneration, and surprise. When we feel hopeless, the cosmos whispers, look around. Nothing stays stuck forever. Even we, our bones, our blood, our breath, are made of stardust. Your body is 7% starlight, which is why you all sparkle so. Your very atoms have known death and resurrection long before you were born. Hope is not foreign to us. It is embedded in our chemistry. And this brings us here, this community, this congregation, this web of love and care. We cannot do hope alone. Hope is something we metabolize together in community. Here we share our joys and sorrows. Here we rest and refill our spiritual wells. Here we bring the insights of our minds, the longings of our hearts, and the yearnings of our spirits. I have seen the quiet ways you've shown up for each other. A meal delivered to someone who was recovering. A ride to an appointment. A handwritten card. A hand squeezed during difficult news. A willingness to listen, to really listen. These small acts of faithfulness are cosmic in scale. They hold the universe together as surely as dark matter does. And though violence and cruelty exist, though some live in a self-made hell of hatred, they are not the majority. They do not define human possibility. The world is full of people doing quiet good, people who choose compassion, people who cultivate peace, people whose lives are like little lanterns illuminating the edges of despair. When we choose love in a world that sometimes seems to reward hatred, we become healers. When we choose peace in a world drawn to conflict, we become bridges. When we choose hope, even trembling, we align ourselves with the creative forces of the cosmos. We are not granted success. We are granted companionship, meaning, and a place at the gates of hope. So I invite you this season to practice hope. Light a candle and sit in the quiet. Take a breath before reacting. Write a note of encouragement. Say, I'm thinking of you. Offer a blessing under your breath for someone you pass in the grocery store. Make room in your heart for a message waiting to be born. Because you are a child of the universe, and the universe is not finished with you yet, its light is still seeking you. Its love is still shaping you. Its hope is still being reborn in you again and again and again. May we plant ourselves at the gate of hope together, beckoning, calling, witnessing, and welcoming the dawn. Amen. Blessed be. And let us begin again. All right, please rise in body and spirit. We're going to sing the anthem for this month, which is Soon the Day Will Arrive. Number 146.
smile without wondering if the day thunder clouds will appear. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Some have dreamed, some have died to make a bright tomorrow, and our vision remains in our hearts. Now the torch must be passed with new hope, not in sorrow, the promise to make a new start. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Thank you. Every year, we at Unitarian Coastal Fellowship give to others in our community during the holidays. Each month, this congregation shares the plate to further our reach into the community. For the month of December, we are doing that through funding the Minister's Discretionary Fund. This is a fund that Reverend Leslie uses to supply emergency funds to members and friends of the congregation, as well as people in the community who are reaching in to us for help. Previous gifts included a hotel room for a night, money for gas, grocery money for a family whose father was deported, funds for court costs, deposit for utilities, and so on. Please give generously so that Reverend Leslie can give generously as well. We always hear what a generous church we are. Let's continue that story. And now invite the greeters to come forward. From gratitude and sharing, now let's rise in body or spirit, and let's sing together hymn number 131 in your gray hymnal, Love Will Guide Us. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from free to giving. Love will guide us through the hard nights. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace inside us, hope inside us, will lead the way on the road from free to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. Woo! Please be seated. We're getting our little sit exercises in today. Now I can't be serious. Okay. Please join me in reading our... I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please join me in reading our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now, in Español, extinguimos esta llama para no luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad, o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.
It is now that beautiful time of the worship service where we form a unique circle around the edges of the congregation, or the sanctuary. If you want to stay in the middle and be surrounded by our love, please do so.
I have been given hope, and I want to thank you all. And I want to thank somebody in particular. I want to thank you for giving the music you've given me and giving me hope in a dark time. Feel very privileged to receive the magic of your music, and I thank you.
Amen to that.
Amen.
Am I allowed to sing something?
No, sorry. We want to finish the worship service, and then please, anything you want to share with each other, we gather together next door for social hour, for sharing the joy in our hearts with each other, for sharing the sorrow in our hearts with each other. But I will close so that we can do that with the benediction. May you choose hope, even when it trembles. May it be the kind of hope that plants seeds, waits in the dark, and trusts the stirring. Hope that doesn't deny despair, but dares to outlast it. Amen.
Amen.
All right, beautiful. You know why I do that, though, right?
Of course I do.
And I know why you do it.
And then everybody else